As we approach the depths of winter, for many growers it's a time to put the plot to sleep. The last of the crops are harvested and the beds prepared for winter, being dug over, covered, or just left until next springtime. The change's weather has slowed growth down and frost begins to kill off many abandoned crops, whilst winter storms bring rains and winds to batter what's left standing, creating an unappealing atmosphere for both plants and their growers. Hibernation ensues, with days wrapped up warm inside, planning for the next year and waiting patiently for the chance to resume the pastime. The rewards of the previous season are still being reaped. Stored roots such as potatoes, swedes and celeriacs are feasted upon, and the freezers full of sweet corn and beans are happily consumed. Strings of onion and garlic dangle from many garden shed roofs. Some crops sit happily in the ground in the winter, inactive in growth, but safe in storage, such as celeriac and Jerusalem artichokes, ready to be picked as needed. Fresh greens, however, can be in limited supply. In the UK, we are fortunate in many places not to suffer from deep, harsh winters, buffered by the Gulf Stream and the Atlantic. This can allow us to make use of the full 12 months of the year for growing. However, adjustments and thorough planning can be necessary. Brassicas can hold their own as the mainstay of the winter garden, with winter and spring cabbages, kales, cauliflowers and Brussels sprouts being popular crops. The common pests which can cause devastating losses in summer are no longer present, or at reduced numbers, with cabbage white caterpillars hibernating and slugs and snails becoming less active. Alliums are another family which has long been used to extend the season. Leeks are an iconic staple, being revered by cultures such as the Romans and the Welsh. Grown from summer onwards, they can stay in the ground right the way through the winter, providing fresh produce when needed. Garlics also make use of the cold weather, which is needed to begin their growth, being sown in autumn. In milder areas, traditional summer crops can be given a head start with an autumn sowing. Broad beans and peas from the legume family, if the right variety is chosen, can be sown in October to initiate a spurt of growth before the cold descends, ready to pick back up again with a head start as soon as the weather improves. These legumes help to fix nitrogen in the soil and make potassium more available, making an added bonus of helping maintain soil fertility. Onions, too, can be overwintered, and I'm experimenting with growing scorzonera in this way in order to get a quicker harvestable crop. For the more exotic growers, there are many perennials which maintain their green in winter, including Taunton Dean kale and sea beet, which both can provide a reliable pot herb all year round, and salad crops such as Claytonia can add some much needed variety to salads. Oriental greens, which come in many shapes, colours and sizes, can withstand certain amounts of cold and can be used to jazz up stir fries. Lately, I've been trying winter radishes, which are an excellent crop. They have the vigour and the ease of salad radishes without the necessary rush to harvest, as they remain excellent for long periods of time. An added bonus is the greens, which can be used as a pot herb. When fertility is more of an issue, green manures can thrive over winter. Winter mixes make use of the varying layers of the soil, reducing nutrient leaching, preventing erosion through wind and rain, and helping keep the ground insulated from extreme temperatures. The soil ecosystems remain more active, and a continued growth, once chopped down, the matter can be applied as a mulch, kick-starting the beds early in the season. In general, all winter crops help to prevent unnecessary loss of fertility and can certainly serve as a green manure. In order to fit these crops in, some tricks can be applied. Green manure can be sown underneath later harvested crops such as spinach, giving their harvested period a vital few more weeks. Summer crops such as fennel can be interplanted with cabbage, and once harvested will allow the cabbage plenty of room. Early croppers such as broad beans and peas can be followed by leeks and brassicas in the summer. Even in winter, succession and interplanting can continue. Here I am experimenting with growing winter cabbage between rows of elephant garlic, hopefully being ready to harvest prior to the garlic requiring space. And I'm also testing sowing spring and winter cabbages at alternative rows to each other in order to harvest at certain points and give the spring cabbages a bit more room. For me, winter has its appeals as a gardener. Water is no longer an issue, with reliable winter rains and the reduction of sunlight scorching the ground, cutting out a major worry or job for some. Pests become less of a problem as they slow down or hibernate, and weed growth can become almost non-existent. The reduction of possible working hours on the plot is easily matched by the reduction of necessary work. Winter crops by nature can help reduce the stress of gluts, many being able to stand months at a time at peak condition, ready for when you want it, rather than nothing at all. The cold temperatures soon are unnoticeable as you warm up whilst working, a preferable solution to the unavoidable heat. Winter may not be everyone's favourite season, and for some, the weather conditions may prove growing impossible. However, I think there is more room for many, including myself, to further investigate the positive sides of the seasons and make use of their growing space fully, all year round.